Hello, konnichiwa, this is Kei. After launching the video request box, I'm getting messages from traders every day about many kinds of topics, and today I will answer to one of the most frequently asked questions, which is, what is your favorite book for Forex trading, and which one should I read to improve my trading? So this time I will introduce 3 books for technical analysis and another 3 books for mindset to be a successful trader that I think all the trader must read, because these are the books that I read many times whenever I get into slump or going through tough times. And before moving on, make sure to press a good button and subscribe and hit a bell so that you get notifications every time I upload new Forex videos. So let's begin. Among dozens of books I've read so far, I picked up ones that I think are necessary to read when you are struggling or having hard time in trading. In fact, I don't use so much money on eating or clothing or on other living expenses, but one thing I'm committed myself is that I spend money on books. The reason is because any books help me to grow first of all, and also what I get and learn from books changes depending on my level over time. Even if it's the same one, sometimes I discover things that I didn't in the past, and this is how I realize my own growth, and it helps me to grow myself even more. And you will become successful when you combine your knowledge from books with your actual trade experience. And don't just open a book and read through and think, oh, this is a nice book, and close it. But read between the lines and pause and think yourself. And whenever you come up with your own thoughts or ideas, write them down and put those words where you can see while trading. So first, let me introduce 3 books that I recommend for technical analysis. The first one is The Market Maker's Edge, Day Trading Tactics from a Wall Street Insider, written by Lukeman. Why I recommend this book is because this covers necessary skills to be a successful trader by sections, like not only just the chart analysis and reading techniques, but it also talks about risk management, fundamentals, and also necessary mindset along with some basic trading techniques, including like chart patterns and candlestick patterns. And it really covers everything that's necessary for a trader. So if you're still new to trading and looking for a good book to read, I think this is the one for you, because I myself learned a lot from this book when I was still a newbie. The second book I recommend for technical knowledge is One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore. He was actually running a prop trading firm, and he wrote this book with some nice examples and some casual and funny words, so it's entertaining at the same time. In this book, actually existing traders from the prop firm show up and talk about what's necessary to keep running the trading firm with profit, and this book actually teaches all that. Just as the title says, in order to do one good trade, it talks about what kind of trade you should do and what you should not. This book also talks in details beautifully about the importance of pursuing one good trade without just chasing the profit right in front of you. And I love the storytelling inside too. So even you're not a trader, this is something enjoyable to read and kind of like sneak into the trader's job. So I highly recommend you to read this one if you haven't read it yet. Alright, the third one I recommend is Trading Price Action Trends, written by Al Brooks. And this book digs into price action, which is the basics in Forex chart. In fact, if you really know the price action and candlestick patterns, you don't really need other indicators like Bollinger Bands or RSI, because price action is everything, and the indicators are all calculated based on the price actions after all. I remember I used to train myself with just plain black and white chart with no indicators and do trading. And this book is for the ones who want to learn the price action, because the examples are based on the practical situations like in a range, breakout, or reversal market. And it also teaches you how to draw trend lines and channel lines properly too. So if you have been using indicators but feel like investigating into price action itself, this book must be for you. Alright, next, let me introduce 3 books about mindset. The first one is Market Wizards by Jack D. Schwager, What makes this book special is this book contains interviews of 17 traders who are the top traders across various financial markets. This book is specially written by Q&A session with each trader. And as you read through, you can compare the strategy, motivation, and mindset of those different top traders. That teaches a lot about Forex trading itself, like how they see the market differently or what kind of trade style they use, what each trader thinks the necessary skill is, and how they handle the stress and depression during trading, things like that. And their words are very much detailed and precise and very practical. So if you are already trading, I highly recommend this book to refer to the top traders' opinions. The second one I'll be introducing for mindset is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. This book is for those who are still struggling with rules and discipline. Like if you're still struggling with your emotion when you lose money or trying to win back, this book helps you not only how to manage the frustration, but also helps you to find your own answer. For example, it explains what it is to be a risk as a trader, what it means to take your own responsibility, and how to update the software of yourself. And I mean, there are a lot to learn from this book, and I don't know how many times I read this book. So if you want your psychological breakthrough, this book is highly recommended. The last one for your mindset improvement is Tools and Tactics for the Master Day Trader by Oliver Belletz. This book is also a Bible for traders because it talks about the difference between gambling and trading and what it is to win and lose in trading and how you can realize your own character by taking notes on each trade. This is a great book for psychology, but the contents are very practical that you can apply and practice from today. I like to use an analogy of driving cars when I talk about studying Forex trading, but to me, technical analysis is like meters in the car, because it only tells you how fast you're driving, how much the engine is rotating, things like that. But you never be able to drive a car just by looking at them because you have to operate the handling or braking or the sense of cars around you, things like that. And those are what I call strategy and tactics that I talked on my previous video. But mindset is something different. Mindset is like your own personality or character, and it depends. And it's something that you can only imitate, but you can never be the one. That's why this is something that you need to realize by yourself, and that's why this is the hardest part, because you cannot see it. The candles or Bollinger Bands or Ichimoku clouds or any other indicators, you can see it, right? But you cannot see the mindset, and yet that can be a great pitfall for all traders. So remember, your mindset is more important than technical analysis when you actually trade. And that's why I encourage you to read those books too. The links to all the books I introduced today are in the below description, and I actually have some more books I wanted to introduce, so I will create a page on my website and put the link on the description below too, so you can check them out later. Alright, thank you for watching, and if you thought this video was helpful to know which books to read, press a good button, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you'd get notifications every time I upload new videos. Stay gold! またね! Bye!